Hey everybody, it's Aurora Gaming here. Aurora ZX, excuse me. Today we're going to be going over the Atlanta more in depth. This is my second attempt at it. I messed up my first one. So we're going to go over this here. I'm going to start with my commander. I use Thomas Kincaid, and I'll go over his perks super quick here. Um, his stock perk is reduce the reload of the sonar, which is perfect. I just switched over to increase the concealment of my cruiser because I was using AP, but I very rarely ever use it, so I was wasting that inspiration. And I also have increased fire dispersion. Um, Anytime I can increase dispersion of incoming shells, I would prefer to do that over everything else, really. Um, oh man, oopsie daisy. There we go. All right. Um, I use Ingenious. Uh, Splash damage. I'm not quite sure what that does, to be honest with you, but I do like the fact that it increases traverse speed. But this tells me how many people are pointing their guns at me. This is good for when destroyers are targeting you for torpedoes because you can actually tell when they're targeting you. Because there's a really good example. I wish I caught it on camera. But I was hunting a destroyer and he would target me to launch torpedoes. So that's how I would know to wiggle waggle. Change my speed up so that the torpedoes would miss. It's a really good perk to have. I really enjoy this perk. The second one is increase the rudder shift time and increase the maximum speed. Anytime you can increase the maximum speed on the Atlanta, I love it because the Atlanta is practically a fat, thick, oversized destroyer. Um, this is increasing the armament health pool, increasing armament repair time, and reduces the incoming damage for cruisers. And then the last perk, which goes really, really well with the Atlanta, is you increase the duration of the sonar, decrease its reload time, and you increase the charges. Fantastic perk to have. I recommend if you're using Thomas Kincaid that you use that perk. That is the best perk. Um, so now we'll dive into the stats. Um, I use the target systems or aiming systems mod 1. I'm really only using it for the dispersion. All the other stuff is kind of mute pointed on the Atlanta, but that's just what I prefer to use on the Atlanta for the simple fact that it decreases the dispersion, which is always nice. Um, Next one is Propulsion Mod 2. I use this because it increases the time taken to reach full speed is reduced by 50%, which is fantastic to have when you're hiding behind islands and somebody tries to rush you. It's a great perk or a great add-on to the ship. Modification is the correct term there. Um, so I would definitely use that. That's just how I do it based on my playstyle. And then I use concealment. I love to reduce the concealment. And again, increases fire dispersion, which is always lovely. If you find that you're getting your steering gear knocked out a lot or you're not being able to dodge enough, this would be a really good one to have too. I never really looked at these because I immediately picked concealment system. Um, I always do that. And then consumables, sonar detects ships and within 4.2 kilometers, detects torpedoes within 2.9 kilometers, which is really nice. Duration is 96.8 seconds, and the number of consumables is 3, when I believe normally it is 2. Um, Radar, 25-second duration, reloads in 171 seconds, detection of ships within 8.4 kilometers. Fantastic. Um, Destroyers pretty much need to avoid Atlanta at all costs. This guy can keep you spotted and you'll just get focus fired. Um, for the flags that I use, I just use common boosters except for the last one. I use just to get some more XP, some more commander XP, a little bit more credits, and I use this one. I just changed to this one actually. Um, for the reload time on consumables, even better. Stats. Survivability. Hit points. 27,500. Basically, not the highest out of all the cruisers, but not the worst. Or probably is the worst, to be honest with you. I haven't quite checked. I can't remember. Um, Armor. 89 millimeters. Guys, you're going to get penetrated pretty much anywhere. Anywhere from any angle. Whether you're at an angle towards them, whether you're bow tanking, you're butt tanking, which is not really feasible, but it still can help. The best bet is to wiggle waggle, keep moving, full speed, shaking left and right. You'll get citadeled anywhere, or not anywhere, any angle. One thing of note, uh, battleship players, unless you're in a British ship, what I will say is, if you can shoot at Atlanta, you can shoot at it, no problem. Just you can get lucky and get citadels. But what you will find a lot, and what I have found in personal experience, you get over penetrations a lot. The armor is so thin, your shells pass through the ship before your shells have the chance to arm. Um, that's what I've noticed. British shells, HE, it's kind of semi AP, semi HE, so you can pin and get a HE citadel from British battleships. Take British battleships very seriously if you're in Atlanta. Take all battleships seriously, but especially British ones. Um, is something that I've noticed. Artillery, everybody knows what this thing has. Blistering guns. I mean, it's literally like machine gun quality. um, 8 by 2 127 millimeters. If you're using any commander that has perks that increase the chance of a fire with 140 millimeter or above, you're wasting your time. Pick a different perk. It does not work for the Atlanta because the Atlanta's guns are too small. Firing range 12 kilometers. Reload time 5 seconds. Turn time is good enough. Don't really need to boost it. Maximum HE shell damage is 1800. Chance to set on fire is 5%. I will say, even if you're getting a little icon where your shells are shattering, technically it's called a non-penetration, but it looks like it's shattering. Um, what it is, even with the shatter, you still can cause a fire. Do not stop shooting at a target just because you're getting constant shatters. Definitely keep shooting at them because you still have the chance of setting them fire. AP shell damage is 2100. If you're firing AP in Atlanta at anything further than, I would say, less than 7 kilometers, you're wasting your time. You're just going to bounce because you have nowhere near enough penetration. Um, AP shells in Atlanta are strictly for cruisers broadside on below 7 kilometers. That is the only reason why. Because you can mount up citadels really, really quickly. You'd be surprised. I've seen it done on PC. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of experience with it on console, but I have gotten 2 citadels before with the Atlanta, which is nice. Torpedoes. These things are slept on. They only have a 4.5 kilometer range. They're very much self-defense torpedoes. You don't want to be launching torpedoes like a destroyer. But here's the kicker. 16,000 damage. Do the math. That's a lot of damage that you can possibly put out on a ship. One ship. Um, if all 4 were to hit. I'm telling you right now, if all 4 of them hit, unless it's a full health battleship, you're killing them. That is a lot of damage. AA defense, we'll kind of skim through this. You've got 8 Orlikon Mark 4s, 20 millimeter, 4 turrets with 4 guns of the Mark II Mod 2 28 millimeter, and then your main battery can count as a AA battery as well, which is Mark 32 Mod 12 127 millimeters. Maneuverability, I don't see the point in boosting your rudder shift time because 8 seconds is good. Maximum speed is 34 and a half. Turning circle is 610 millimeters. Not the tightest turning circle, but not the worst either. Definitely a good tactic to learn would be wagging the tail, or as I like to call, not that tactic, but as another tactic I like to call wiggle waggle. You pretty much shake your ship, shimmy, your ship. It makes it much harder for them to get accurate shots on you because you're constantly changing your movement from left to right to right to left. Just be careful. The good players will learn you and will punish you. So just be careful. Concealment. Detectability by sea, 10 kilometers. Detectability range by air, 6.3. Guaranteed detectability, 2 kilometers. That is also called the RGA. Uh, the Atlanta in closing is practically an oversized destroyer. She was made to be an AA boat, but in World of Warships, right now, currently, AA is kind of a mute point. But if those little scout planes that come at you get shot down super quick. Um, so that's always nice. She's basically an oversized destroyer. Play her like a destroyer. If you can pair up with a destroyer and you can hide in a smokescreen with the Atlanta, ooh, beautiful. I've seen a lot of funny moments with that done. But be careful. Run your sonar because smokescreens are torpedo magnets. Everybody should know that. If you don't, public service announcement, don't hide in smokescreens unless you're a destroyer. Be very, very careful. That is all for today, folks. Hopefully the next video that should be up is an Atlanta gameplay guide. That's really heavily dependent on teammates, though. So, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Leave suggestions here. I will pretty much reply to them because I don't have that many subscribers yet. Um, so just leave your suggestions, like, subscribe, do whatever, you know the drill. I hope you all enjoyed. Signing off, this is Aurora ZX.